we have a great case study from a fantastic business, a top inspiring workplace, no less. Let's get into it. So Adam and Andy met whilst at Vodafone UK 10 years ago and have worked together in varying ways since until 2019, when they took the leap and formed a business named after a Radiohead record called Kid A. Big Ben's fan myself. Huge experience in telco and consumer electronics, and their ethos is all about simplicity, getting to the biscuits, being different and having fun. Kid A is just over 3 years old and is an award-winning B Corp purposeful company that is making huge noise in their industry, and definitely impressed our judges this year in the Inspiring Workplaces Awards. So their title of their talk, which is coming up imminently, is called Fake Plastic Trees. And it's all about how we've built up our company, how fragile our culture is, and how easy it is to get it wrong, and maybe where we're headed. So I'm really looking forward to this one. And let me welcome, if I can do this one last time. Hello, Andy and Adam. How you doing?
Very good, thank you.
Brilliant, thank you. How are you, Matt? All right?
I'm good. I've made it. Yeah, well done. So look, I think you have a video you want to a slide you want to share. So I'm going to leave you to it. We've got about 15 to 20 minutes, and looking forward to hearing about it.
Brilliant. Thanks, Matt. Well, let us know if there's any if we get any of this technical stuff wrong. So, hi everybody, how you doing? I'm the Andy side of Kid A, and this is obviously Adam. Yes, we did name our business after a Radiohead record, and we'll kind of try and touch on that as we go through. But like Matt said, what we're going to try and talk about is kind of just looking inward at what we've done in our business, and hopefully kind of transmit, the learnings and things that we did and some of those impacts as we go through the talk to try and create the workplace that we've created.
Yeah, that's it. And so the video, we wanted to show the video because this was actually it's actually our newest employee. When we had a company get together, we wanted just to get a feedback on what it's been like landing at Kid A, and the usual stuff, some initial thoughts and reflections, and we weren't expecting this, and she stood up and pressed play, and this is what we got. So it's a good sort of gives a good bit of context about sort of who we are, I think.
And we hope it works. If it doesn't, then please let us know and we'll move on.
What is this place? A funny bunch of squirrels. Fucking me. They're more dangerous than you realize. They always have. They always know which buttons to press. You look different too, but in a good way. You make music together. You're awesome. We can hook it up. You're people. Go swap it. It's a family business, you might say. Thanks for inspiring me. Take this trip. Great sounds. Great ideas. They have it forever. You're awesome. Oh, they're great in small doses. You talk different.
I don't know what they're talking about. You know what they're talking about?
Nope, but I can tell.
It's a pretty inspiring message to the kids.
But one last thing.
Look, my doctor said that my liver will start failing within the next 2 years.
Some will say it's all circumstantial.
I still think it's food poisoning. There's a word for hangover I've never heard before.
Work on the tech.
Hopefully that worked. The reason why we wanted to show that is because it was kind of touching on some of the elements that Celine was saying before. That was an unprompted, unfiltered view as to the newest member of staff into our business, and hopefully kind of gives you a very quick synopsis of the culture and the kind of environment that we wanted to create. So kind of moving forward into the next stage is kind of more around what did we actually do when we kind of wanted to set a business up. And our background, including our chairman, who unfortunately isn't here, but we're going to add another 25 years of experience just into the call for that reason. We spent most of our background in corporate life. And when we sat down, we didn't want to think about what the business was going to do. It was all about how we wanted to go about going to work. You know, we've all had the 9 to 5s. We've all had those kind of experiences where you think you're making a real difference in that kind of element of your business, but it's in such a large place that you don't actually see the efficacy of that. And ultimately, there's always these kind of hidden parts, and I think Celine said it earlier on, where you know you don't necessarily feel empowered to be able to go about your being authentic and your kind of self. So the starting point for us was kind of our mindset as leaders, you know, and it was like, yes, we need to make money, and yes, we need to do all these kind of things, but ultimately we wanted to become a people business, and it's all about bringing the experiences that Adam and I had and kind of brought with us to the table to say, these are the bits we want to take forward and improve and enhance. And these are the bits that we really have to be careful not to let creep into our psyche, because it could end up where we were in a previous kind of life.
Yeah, and the mindset thing is really important, because I think Celine was talking about it, you know, empowering yourselves. And for us, we talked a lot about what we wanted to do, but it was about changing our mindset to really believing what we talked about, what we wanted to do, and actually doing it. And there were lots of times along the way where you might sort of find yourself falling back into sort of how we used to probably think in a corporate world around tasks and seeing people as a sort of a means to an end to get things done for the business. But actually, if we had to make a lot of effort, and we did, just to stay focused on kind of trying to see coming into our business from another person's eyes, and how we would want to feel about the company effectively. And it's proven to be a bit of a winning formula. We're really proud of it, and it simplifies things for us, to be honest, because we just stay on that mission. And you know, I'm starting to waffle, so
no, it's good, because you know, you can find yourself defaulting to type. You know, you can start to see things around, you know, the edges, like lateness and things like that. And you have to bring yourself back to always think about the culture of the people, because that will obviously directly impact the output of kind of where the business is. And it does go right back to the roots. You know, there's a reason, just outside of the fact that we're pretty mad Radiohead fans, as to why we call this business Kid A, because we wanted to illustrate that you can be a business that's all about change. One thing that we've seen in the market, you know, we set this business up in 2019, like many other people. COVID hit, Brexit happened, a war's going on. There's all these crazy macro factors that are affecting businesses worldwide. But what we can control is our people and the kind of culture of that business. And being, I suppose, where I'm leading with that is around about authenticity. For us, you know, it's probably the most important ingredient that we have as individuals and as a business. And we're unwaveringly ruthless about that. To the certain extent, you can kind of see the crazy, this is our boardroom, you know, and it's all about every single level of the business that you have is all about being different and true and honest, because this is literally the outpourings of our mind. And what that does, again, Celine touched on it earlier on, is that it allows us to create safety. Because one thing that we were very aware of is that you can't actually dictate a culture. You know, you can't go, right, you've got to like it here. Otherwise, it's a problem.
They do have to like it.
So what we can do is kind of set the environment and some guardrails. But ultimately, our main tactic was around enabling people to be themselves and being honest with themselves. And as our journey kind of progressed, and we saw people coming out of themselves and being more authentic about who they are and what they do, we could then expand what those guardrails look like. So, for example, we've been working on a 32-hour week since, I think, August last year.
Yeah, and that's been really actually much harder to deliver than we thought it would be. We thought, right, we'll lead the way. We'll do a 32-hour week. You know, everyone will love it. You know, it gives back loads of people. One of our sort of thoughts is actually if you cut out a lot of the stuff that is the sort of noisy bits and the behaviours that you pick up along the way in corporate life, you should really be able to get everything done in 32 hours in a week. And when we deployed it kind of didn't work for quite a long time, because most of it was just going on in everyone's heads still. It was like, well, you might feel like you only have to do 32 hours a week, but you're still kind of chained to your inbox, or you're still thinking about work. So we set up a Slack channel actually, and that was quite a
game changer
move forward, because it just enabled people to say, right, I'm going to, I don't know, do something, walk the dog or whatever. And I think just being able to sort of put it out there that that's what they were doing meant that they could mentally actually have that time back. So they weren't still in work mode, even though they were saying, right, well, I actually only have to do another sort of 3 hours this week.
Yeah.
So it was a surprise to us how difficult that one was to land. But and like a lot of this stuff around culture, and like Andy said, you can't dictate it. It kind of, you set some parameters and give some comfort and hopefully just let it rip. But it's a continuous process, and we, you know, our role is just to make sure we just keep leading the way on that and keep making people feel comfortable in this kind of slightly, you know, it's not rocket science, but it is a kind of bit of a new way of doing things for all of us in this business anyway.
Absolutely. And I was kind of, again, thinking back on what Celine was saying, you know, about the difference between empowerment and enabling. And I think I agree with that. I think what's interesting there is that you kind of go, well, how do you enable someone? You know, it's not in the dictionary. And I think the way that we've interpreted that message, looking inward over the last 3 years we've been alive, is to create safety. Now, there is a balance, you know, again, you know, when we deployed the 32-hour week, you know, it didn't necessarily work for a number of different reasons, but we were able to kind of pull that back. But where I'm kind of getting to is that you can't allow the standards and your behaviors and the output of the business to drop. But you want to create an environment that is completely free, you know, because if people are genuinely themselves and they know that they've not kind of got this gun under the table where if they make the smallest mistake, then that's actually massively impactful to their career, it really changes the mindset of the business. And we've managed to shift the ground, you know, of our people kind of coming in and some of the seasoned professionals that we have in the business in that mindset. And it is hard because I wasn't necessarily sure I was going to say this, but I am struggling to articulate it in another way. You are effectively trying to reprogram human beings that you, of course, don't own and never will. But how do you reprogram their mindset to move away from a fixed hourly period in their brain where they come to a place to contribute a certain amount of work and then leave and go back to their life? We're trying to remove all of those elements to say that you don't have to do this when it comes to your work life. You can actually enjoy yourself here and still be free. Like if you need to do something in the middle of the day or you need to do something, you can completely do that. But the standard and the expectation and the support framework that sits underneath that we've deployed and crafted enables people to kind of do that. So I think I might try and actually nick that as my own definition.
Very good. I think should we want to put up the values slide?
Yeah, it's a good point. So the only other slide that we've got is, again, still in the kind of theme of authenticity, and I'm hoping that you guys will get to see this shortly, is...
You might need to share your screen again. Just
on it now, Matt. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
No, it's all right.
So hopefully that is coming in now. Brilliant.
Just had to press the share button.
Just had to press the share button, everyone, located in the bottom of the screen. So again, coming back to the values and the kind of behaviors of our business. Now, we've all worked in companies, and quite rightly, some of them have got really kind of fundamental, basic values, which really do resonate. For us, again, the theme of authenticity is that we wanted to actually call out elements of our personalities that we have and that we are, rather than kind of putting something that we actually interpret as an intrinsic human behavior on the wall. That's why our values aren't centered around honesty and integrity, because to us, they're already in us. And that's not a value, that's to us an obligation. And all things our world, you know, being music orientated and films, we wanted to be a little bit out there. So we've created values that our team massively embody and already resonate to, and it gives them this kind of spirit, dare I say it, within the business that kind of anchors them to the center of what our culture is. And those values are, as hopefully you can see there, by, you know, one of arguably the best frontmen of all time, Keith Flint from The Prodigy. We took that always outnumbered, never outgunned mindset, because we are a small business in an entirely huge world of which elements we can't control. But we've still managed to battle through some pretty significant macro factors and bet on ourselves as individuals and be fearless. And that has absolutely played out in tons.
And feel like a strong team.
Absolutely.
The big thing we spend a lot of time on when we talk about these values is, like Andy said, we are a small team operating with some pretty major corporate customers, and it can be quite daunting. And it's not only good for us as a business, but if everyone feels like you've got a strong teammate with you and we're in this together, it gives everyone a lot of confidence. And another thing we're concerned about is people coming into our business, and because it is quite different, just kind of freaking out.
Yeah.
So we spend a lot of time on teamwork because it's important for everyone to feel. It sort of makes people feel safe, and then it releases them to be themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. It can. We're very aware of the disorientating nature of kind of what our environment could look like as we sit here now in our boardroom, which is named after the Overlook Hotel from The Shining, with a picture of Jack Torrance next to us. A lot of people are like, what the hell is going on here? But when you move past the skin at these core fundamentals and values of our business, people really do kind of get it. And that second one there around, there is no spoon. Hopefully there's a lot of Matrix fans out there. That is all about us thinking differently. Get outside your head, think differently. There's a reason why we were able to be successful in this business. And it wasn't just because we thought we would do exactly what's been done over the last 100 years in the same way. And the last one I'll move through relatively quickly, but it's probably the most important one, because if we don't focus on our planet and our people, all of the rest just doesn't matter. We absolutely want people to feel that they are contributing to a cause rather than just killing time before they get to 65 and kind of call it a day. So the point here, or the wrap up or summary of this element of our kind of monologue is that the values and behaviors that we've created, and certainly we would say that the businesses out there that are looking to genuinely create ones that are you, not ones that you think other businesses will find attractive to work with you. Because authenticity and honesty plays out way more than just chucking a loads of words on the wall that don't mean anything and you don't live it in the actual day to day.
And we, the way we get, it's a hard thing to talk about. So like, you've got to be honest, you've got to be authentic all the time. And we do talk about it, but the main thing we do is just try and let people see us behaving that way ourselves. So, we try and be honest if we make mistakes. We look at advice. We're quite open if we don't know the answers. And it's kind of stuff like that. We're fortunate because we're small, so we can lead by example. That's definitely a thing in our favour, and it resonates.
Absolutely. And you kind of think around. Oh, sorry, Max, are you coming in there?
No. I was about time to, if it's possible, to start to wrap up. What is that?
You don't want us to ramble on for another half an hour?
No,
more.
If that's your authentic self, which you obviously portraying right now, please do. But they might have to be off the screen.
No worries. No,
just keep chatting.
We say it's like a filibuster. So to sort of bring it all together and certainly link it back to the name of the talk, I think what we're trying to say is it's all about, for us, it was about building trust, safety, and high standards with a certain element of kind of control, but don't try and affect the source too much. And don't be scared to take your hands off of it, because sometimes you can freak out and think this doesn't look like it's working. But actually, the more you interfere with it, the more you cock the recipe. Whereas actually, if you sit back and just let it, people will come together and will kind of trust it. And then just as the final sentence is more around, like, if you are going to be genuine and authentic, plant real trees that really do something. Don't plant fake plastic trees.
Amazing. Look, thank you so much, because that really is one of the most genuine stories that we've ever had across in person, online, over the past decade. And I really thank you for that. And it obviously comes through that's what you're doing. Just a quick comment, if I may, before I let you go. But we think two fundamentals of an inspiring workplace is, people that believe in what they're doing at the workplace and feeling like they belong. And that just seems like you're absolutely nailing both those aspects. Well, congratulations, and just keep going, and hopefully see you soon in person again at some time.
Absolutely, yeah, we look forward to it. And thanks again, mad love for having us on here, and hopefully we didn't bore it on.
Absolute honour. Thank you very much.
Have a good day. Cheers. Have a great day, everyone. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.